And now, a reading of Zero the Crooked's Mo City Dawn freestyle off his 2005 album, Let the Truth Be Told. Slow, loud, and banging all in my trunk. Trunk full of funk, I ain't never been a punk. I blow on skunk, I blow on Doja. Military minded, I'm a motherfucking soldier. Out the street to the ridge, my foe. Not no bitch and said I still ain't a hoe. Letting brothers know every day of the year. I pimp my pen and I get my point clear. Why brothers wanna talk down, I don't know. Gotta take a trip to Acapulco. From the foe with my fofo on my side. When I ride, ready to do another homicide. In a pine box and I'm gone. Brother, old glory, I'm H-Town to Cali, just like Robert Horry. And if I do a murder, I flee the murder scene. Well, there's a shortage on the drink, I can't find no lean. From southwest to southeast, bitch, it's about war, not about peace. Brother like me, I'm about knocking out teeth. No, I'm saying I'll lose your grill. A brother coming down in the Coupe de Ville, looking gravy, looking real throwed. I'ma be that brother pulling over at the fucking crossroad with my K on my side. I'm ready to ride, and if I gotta go, it'll be a homicide. Me and another brother on the way to the Golden Gate. A brother like me can't wait just to make it to another day. Gotta get the big payoff, so get the fuck out my way when I come around your corner so slow. It'll be that brother in the damn polo. That's the Ralph Lauren. Jackers ain't borrowing. Why skip the slab when I went straight to foreign? Said it like I said it in the old school. Some brothers, they be red, but zero blue. I come around your corner, but I ain't set tripping, but I will. Wear brothers and wear women with the calico. I had to let a motherfucker know that I come around your corner in a Lincoln photo, a Fox photo, cause I do it in a flash. Brother, watch out, cause that could be your ass. I rhyme so long, rhyme so strong. I flex my bicep, then I swole on. Get on the motherfucking bench, and when the laws hit the corner, I hit the fence. They wonder where I went, they keep looking. I don't give a fuck like Tyson, I keep hooking. Or might be like Lennox, I'm strong to the finish. I'm like the ghetto Popeye, but I don't eat spinach. I'ma keep going, I keep on flowing just like the Nile. $1 million mouthpiece, every time I smile, looking throwed. Look, ask Trey, every time he smile, he can turn the night to day. You can open up the top and let the smoke come out. We don't give a damn about a crooked ass cop, crooked officer, make a brother wanna blow the badge off for you. Me and Dougie, my motherfucking brother, R.I.P. to my motherfucking mother. That's a Dorothy Marie McVeigh Matthews, 10 toes colder than my motherfucking shoes. I gotta be a man, hope you understand. There's nothing but the work in the calico in my hand. On the corner on the ridge van, and I'm serving a fiend, a real live D-boy, and you know what I mean. I be stacking up chips like Lego, dunk on a punk just like Calvin Cato. Houston to the Rocket, a 4P like Comets. I don't give a fuck, gut punch a bitch brother, make him vomit on the grind. I'ma take a trip on Greyhound. I be flying on the plane, but the dope is on the grind. Head to the Lake Charles or head to the Lafayette. Might be up in Alexandria, but I ain't finished yet. I gotta make a whole I-10, I sin, then I do it again. I get my ends, I'm in my motherfucking Benzie. Got these hoes running around in a frenzy. I be busting full clips till they empty. A piece of potent pussy might tempt me. Rain is trying to send me to the penitentiary. The main reason why I ain't friendly. I'm wired up, but I ain't on no damn slaughter. DeJean in the back and he got the camcorder, recording everything. The foes gon' swang, still pulling up on Fondren in the main, looking lovely. Got to look good. I throwed up Bridge my foe, cause that's my hood. Never been a hoe, I'm letting hoes know. I gotta get a fucking PLAT, but first a GOLD, a motherfucking plaque. I keep it straight and simple like that. Hit a bitch from the back, and I use my motherfucking tool. Make it say, "Ach," when I hit her with the mule. Check. Welcome to episode 275 of the Ross Bolen Podcast, otherwise known as RBP 275, presented by Bolen Media. I am, of course, Ross Bolen, joined today again by producer, co-host extraordinaire, Mr. Mike Moody. Mike, are you ready to make the people laugh, or at the very least crack a smile today because they fucking need it?
I'm ready, as long as you stay over there and I stay over here.
We are socially distant at about 4 feet.
Very much so. Maybe 5.5.
5.
Let's call it 6.
I did tongue the microphone before we started.
Oh, God.
Just to be sure.
Burn that later.
It's okay. Clean tongue I've got, I think.
I'll put it on your bill.
Mike, you ever wrap houses when you were a little kid? You ever TP a house?
Once or twice, sure.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
You'll only admit to once or twice?
I was a nerd, man. What do you expect?
Nerds didn't wrap houses like the rest of us?
We got invited along sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but, not really.
Mike, if you and I were in middle school together, I would have invited you along every time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Good. I was a nice kid in middle school. just for the record. We used to wrap houses a lot, though. Was definitely a thing. And considering now the crisis at hand, TP-wise, man, we wasted a lot of toilet paper. I mean, also, what a terribly shitty thing to do in general. Like, how the hell was this the mischievous thing we decided to do nationwide as teenagers in America? Also, is it still going on? Because I never see a wrapped house in Austin. I wonder if it's regional. Like, Houston was a hotbed for wrapping of houses. But in Austin, I don't see this shit. It's not like I'll be going through my neighborhood and be like, aha.
I never see it. I never see it here.
The Jensen's house got hit last night. You never see it here.
Yeah. I don't really live near high schools, though, so I don't know. But when I drive around, like, this neighborhood, which is a bunch of families, I don't
see, man,
see
like,
it.
that's the thing. I'll be going through bee caves and shit. Like, I'm around Westlake when I'm over there. It's not where I live, but and I don't see this anywhere. It's just odd. I wonder if it's died out. I would like the middle schoolers of America to reach out to me and let me know well, I know now you can't be wrapping houses. You see a house wrapped this week, somebody might burn that mother down out of anger.
Send us your house wrapping stories of 2019 and beyond, kids.
Yeah. From way back in the day, because this is no longer a thing that's gonna be that you'll be able to do without an insane layer of guilt. You can't just be wrapping houses during the pandemic. Nah, it's not how it works.
Yeah.
That was a 90s thing.
Do you have your TP at your house? You're all good? You stocked up?
I got about 9 rolls left. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah?
Yeah, I burned through it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to keep the 2-hole clean. And listen, we're going to talk a little bit more a little later in the episode about some ways to improve our experiences together during this what has to be the strangest time I've been alive so far during my 32 years on this earth. I've never seen anything like this shit. It's entertaining. It's terrifying. It's like causing all of us to mix up our routines. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fear out there. A lot of it's very unnecessary. We're going to talk about some of that shit and ways to better it. So if you're here and you're working from home or you're social distancing or whatever the situation may be, welcome. Happy to have you. We're going to get through this shit together. RBP 275 is brought to you by Felix Gray glasses. Peep these fucking Faraday frames on my face right now.
Those are tight.
They're clear and they're real tight. I never thought I would be like stylish glasses frames guy. Yo, these are fucking amazing. And every time I wear them or I put them on my Instagram story, I get all these messages from people. Those are tight. See-through is tight. Yeah, I know. They're incredible. They protect my eyes from 90% of the blue light coming through all these screens and shit that I can't get away from even during social distancing. That's another thing. We're going to be even more engrossed by our screens during this period of time. The only way to see each other is through FaceTime or the fucking computer. We've all got our screens and our faces and screens from morning to night. There is no cutting back. It's not going to get easier. I'm like an 8 hours a day guy on the cell phone. It's a problem. The screen time app, it gives me guilt when I look at it. So I have to wear these puppies to protect me, to keep my eyes from getting all jacked up by the end of the day. I don't want to have tired, dry eyes, headaches, blurry vision, trouble sleeping, and that's stuff that I've experienced my whole life. I've worn contacts my whole life, but not since I've been wearing Felix Gray blue light glasses. I love these things. They launched in 2016, by the way, Felix Gray, with a singular focus of offering the most effective computer glasses on the market with all the quality of brand name designer frames. They quickly became the internet's favorite blue light glasses, again, filtering out 90% of high energy blue light, eliminating 99% of the harsh glare that comes from all your screens. You may not realize this, but when you're like watching movies in your living room or whatever, there is glare, man. You throw these on, you realize it suddenly you have eliminated it. That glare is there. And unlike other brands who use cheap blue light coatings that are ineffective and can chip or scratch, Felix Gray uses a proprietary blue light technology that's embedded directly into the lens. Prescription, non-prescription, readers. You don't have to be blind as a bat like me to rock these Felix Grays and look this good. They've got you covered with optical glasses for work, sleep glasses in the evening that are clinically proven to increase melatonin secretion when worn leading up to bedtime. All of us could use better sleep right now. I know that for a fact. Why would you buy glasses from a company whose sole focus isn't making glasses? I trust Felix Gray because they make the best blue light glasses in the game. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. Get a pair of blue light glasses from the pros today. Shipping and returns are totally free. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/RBP. felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. Some announcements and shouts. Big shout out to Spencer Hall for all the support. Thank you, man. Shouts to Cole Smith, our latest OG on Patreon. Means a ton to have that much support from you, dude. Thank you. Happy birthday to Becca Novak's boyfriend. I hope y'all are still together. She didn't give me your name. But happy birthday anyway. Happy birthday, Andrew, back on the 24th of February, I think. Happy birthday, Dylan Kidwell. Thanks for fulfilling your legal obligations. Harvey Weinstein got 23 years in prison. That is neat. Fuck that guy and good riddance. I also wanted to give a shout out to Laura and her late dad, Mark. Keep your head up, girl. Some amends and fact-checking before we jump into our first segment. Oh, also, I forget what I was going to say. Amends and fact-checking. Intern Natalie's back, by the way. So she gives us like the amends from former episodes, from 274, from 273, anything I misspoke on. She also gives us little facts and tidbits related to things we may have discussed.
How many pages do we have today?
I eliminated a lot.
Okay.
And just pulled out like the 4 or 5 that I thought y'all might be most interested in, because my God, I've been making mistakes. Most expensive bong in the world was sold at auction for $1 million.
Whoa.
Who does that? Who purchased? Dan Bilzerian? Is that you? Who purchases a bong for $1 million?
Woody Harrelson.
Could have been Woody. Woody Harrelson, Willie Nelson, Dan Bilzerian, Gwyneth Paltrow. One of those 4.
She's spending that goop money somehow.
You know, she has a candle that is the scent of her vagina that you can purchase.
Okay. You know, a few days ago, that might be attractive to me, but I recently watched that movie.
Shallow Hal?
No, that's a terrible movie, but A Contagion.
Why the fuck did you watch Contagion?
I like Steven Soderbergh.
In the middle of a crisis, Mike.
I thought it'd be interesting. Scared the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there are some gruesome images of her in that movie. So yeah, change the way I think about and look at Gwenny, for sure.
And her vagina. Which literally, this is not a joke. She made a candle that is a Gwyneth Paltrow vagina scent.
Is that $1 million as well?
I think it's like $39.99. And I'm like honestly interested. I'm like, I don't know. This is like the smell of a lovely vagina filling my home is kind of always what I've wanted.
If Evan Rachel Wood made one of those candles,
then you'd purchase it.
I'd totally purchase it, yeah.
Especially after last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, her riding that bike in that pencil skirt. First of all, impossible.
Yeah.
Nah, come on. Red pencil skirt, futuristic motorbike. We're talking about Westworld now,
She's
by the
robot.
way. Oh, my God. I think she retweeted me once.
Ooh.
I was aroused for weeks. Weeks, Mike. But yeah, Westworld is back, if you're watching. Freeze All Motor Functions is the podcast for that. Hosted by Jared Borislow, co-hosted by myself, brought to you by Bolen Media. Freeze All Motor Functions. We're going to help you make sure you understand everything that's going on in this, what is bound to be an absolutely batshit season of Westworld, Season 3. Arizona hasn't actually observed daylight saving time for almost 40 years. Apparently the reason has a lot to do with weather patterns.
Weather.
Yeah, weather. It's obviously very hot there. So if they switched, it would mean more sunlight at night, stay hot way longer. They got lots of reasons to consider this shit. But good for Arizona for standing up and saying, fuck all y'all. I wish we would do that in Texas. But then again, I have enjoyed this most recent, like, we're in that stretch right now where it stays dark way, or light way later.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm into that. Makes it feel less apocalyptic. By the way, the street's empty. We record on South Congress.
Just you and me out here.
It's a buzzy, busy, hot spot of town. People are walking up and down the streets all day shopping. Nobody in Austin has a job. It's very confusing. Or not, let me rephrase. Nobody in Austin has a job with normal hours.
Yeah.
And there is nobody out there, man. Nobody. It's terrifying. I pulled into the parking lot. Usually I'm like, where's the spot? I just parked 3 spots across, fucking took up 3. Don't care.
It's kind of great. There's literally nobody in this building.
Yeah.
I feel
Dead
safe.
silent.
Yeah, I feel safer here than in my apartment complex.
Is this where you stay?
I probably should.
This is where we're going to hole ourselves up?
Yeah, why not?
I'm looking into getting a pistol. I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm getting paranoid.
That's what Matt Damon did in Contagion.
Matt Damon.
He had to get a gun.
Apparently, the first Saturday in August is National Disc Golf Day. I don't know why the fuck Natalie put that in here. Thanks for getting Jared excited. The total population of Antarctica is 1,106 people. 1,106 people live on that continent? Is a floating ice cube. What do? Jesus Christ, I hate the cold. The thought of even stepping foot on Antarctica makes me just sick to my stomach. President Abraham Lincoln did not enjoy retirement. Richard Nixon did not enjoy impeachment. The population of China is 1.439 billion. First segment, hotline calls. Oh, yeah. So we wanted to hit the hotline and see how folks are holding up during these trying times. The number is 888-WR-BOLEN. We leave the hotline open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for your convenience. It's a 2-minute cutoff, okay? You get 120 seconds. Don't talk longer than that. Try to keep it to a minute if you can. Be succinct. Call from not a wind tunnel. Call with your windows up if you're in the car, your AC down. Don't call on speakerphone. Use your fucking hand. Put it to your head. Pull over, park, whatever. Obey the traffic laws in your respective city or country, but you should just be in your house anyway.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can they call from the pooper?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's
Toilet, shower, if you got a waterproof phone or some kind of...
Yeah.
Well, the water would probably be annoying. The point is, know what you're going to talk about. Be clear. I want to be able to hear you. I want it to sound good. That's all I ask, right? But literally, you can call with anything. A hypothetical, trash or not trash, a question. You could sing as a song if that's what you feel you've got in your heart. Tell us a story, whatever. Got a handful of calls today. Going to play 5, I think. Here is your first one. And any moment now. Bingo.
Yo, what up, Ross? Nashy, your boy from Twitch. Love the games recently, dude. Keep up the good content. But I had a question, kind of like a trash or not trash, but not really sure. So, like, as you know, because I got like really into gaming, and now I'm like working with that org. My sleep schedule has gotten really weird to the point where, like, I actually am, like, borderline nocturnal. So I, like, play video games all night, do my homework, wake up, or not really wake up, just go to class, and then sleep in between classes all throughout the day. And I eat meals at night. I basically become nocturnal. It feels like a really trash move for me sleep-wise, but at the same time, it's working, and it's working for me. I don't know, like, Is that a trash way to live my life or not? Let me know. Love the pod as always. Keep up the good work, bro. And let's get some more dubs, bro. Peace. Oh, I'm in North Carolina, by the way.
He's in North Carolina.
Nash, you're not a bat. You're not Batman. And you're not a surgeon. You can't just become nocturnal for gaming purposes. Now, I see you grinding. Nash is one of the dudes that plays with me on twitch.tv/bossrollin.
He's just a college student who's grinding.
He's just grinding. I get it.
Yeah.
That being said, look, man, as a guy who routinely stays up late at night, I love the nighttime. I'm very productive at night as well. That's definitely when I'm most productive, least distracted. It's the most quiet. People are bugging you the least amount. And as a creative, that's like when my brain is like, that's when I'm in the zone, just for whatever reason. So I get it. And I get the draw. Here's the problem. When you go that route, it just fucks up your shit. And, like, I know you, just like me, have some mental health stuff that you battle. And the sleep part of our lives is so imperative to keeping that shit in line. Like, it's imperative that all of us sleep well, that we get our amounts. And we all have, like, you'll hear different doctors. Some people can go 6 hours. Everybody needs 8 hours. I don't fucking know. Sometimes I go 6. Sometimes I go 8. If I can get 10, I'll take 10. That happens like once every 6 months. But you got to get your sleep. Your brain can't fucking properly function like this, dude. I don't think. That being said, not a doctor, not a scientist, definitely not a normal human. So whatever you think, I don't know. It also made me think about how many people work like the night shift and are like night people. Mm-hmm. Jared's girlfriend is a night shift person.
But if you get your 8 hours, and you're okay, right? Like
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you're flipped completely, but what Nash is doing makes it sound like it's a hybrid.
Right.
He's like hitting classes, going to sleep, hitting another class, going to sleep, staying up all night, like gaming. Yeah.
That's not healthy, but I don't think that'll last too long. I think you're okay, Nash.
You'll burn out, though, bro.
Probably.
To Mike's point. Probably. Yeah. But I don't know. Look, the nighttime was designed for us to sleep. It's dark. Our brains can shut off, shut everything else out, get that rest we need. It's hard to sleep during the day. But if you've trained yourself, I don't know, dude. The fuck do I know? I'm not a sleep scientist. Next call.
What up, bros? My name's Jack from Rhode Island.
Jack.
I'm
Jack
driving
talk
back
time.
actually from skiing. Had a great time with the boys. I had one question real quick. With this whole coronavirus going around, there have been videos of people buying toilet paper, buying water bottles, and all that shit. My question is, with the water bottles, what are they expecting to happen? Do they think the water companies are going to shut the water off? Like, we have water filtration plants. Literally keep the water clean. I just don't get it. Yeah, word. Gang. Enjoy, sir.
Okay. Look, man. First of all, I don't know why people think we're some kind of like water filtration podcast now. We've been talking about Waterman. Dan's dad the other week, Jared, falsely claimed that he was a poo water filtration guy. That wasn't actually the case. Dan texted us off mic.
I think people saw like your snaps or instas with those glasses, and they're like, Ross is a scientist now.
That's what it must be. It's the clear glasses. People take me as some kind of scientist, and frankly, folks, it's just not the case. My guess would look, okay, I read an article about this yesterday. It's actually pretty fascinating. This is the funny thing that's been happening around our country. So there's a grocery store, Mike. Everybody's in this grocery store shopping for the things they need as normal. Normal list of things. Mm-hmm. And then there's one fucking guy or girl over in aisle 3 just losing their shit, grabbing all the canned goods, going for the toilet paper, filling up the cart. One person sees that person and goes, uh-oh. Oh, shit, should I be, you know what, fuck it, maybe I'll grab some extra soap. Another person sees that person panic buying. Next thing you know, the whole goddamn store is going crazy, grabbing up every fucking thing there is.
Ripple effect.
Yeah, it's a ripple effect, and it's this panic buying is what it's called, this panic grocery shopping. And so I've been to the grocery store a couple times during this past few days.
How'd that go?
None of it was for the purposes of doing what these people are doing. Mm-hmm. I had to pick up I had to drop off and then pick up a prescription. And oh my God, just the frenzied effect in there is unlike anything I've ever seen other than in movies, right? Like that much panic and anxiety in this one little building, and man, you can feel it. And I don't know if it's just that I'm really sensitive to that shit too. Like I used to get real bad anxiety in the mall. Because the mall is just an anxious place. Yeah. Now, a grocery store filled with people panic buying because they think they're all going to die is also an anxious place.
I would say so.
And I'm telling you, the thing about this whole situation that's been most shocking to me is how poorly set up we are as individuals within our society to handle this type of situation. Like, none of us are comfortable. Everybody's freaking out. And the more people freak out, the more it feeds the fear. We got just piss poor leadership throughout, like leading to even more panic and more weird statements and more confusion and more. We got too many organizations. We got it's like making statements about this shit. We got most people's companies at this point making them work from home. It's like all of the things that could happen that would make people more scared and give them more reasons to freak out are happening.
I didn't start worrying about this until we had a conference call at my other company that I work for, and they were like, you can all work from home for as long as you want, whenever you want. And I'm like, I work remotely. Why am I on this call? And
you already were.
And then everyone on the call is freaking out. And they all start talking about rushing to the grocery store. Oh, I went today at 5 a.m. I got everything I could. And I was like,
see, it's like a trigger.
What? Yeah.
Like you're told you can work from home, and then it's like, well, shit, now it's time.
Yeah.
And then that's your freak out, right? Like everybody's got one thing that whatever. The thing that I'm confused about, how it's going to work, is all these parents that got kids that have jobs. The schools get shut down. The nanny and babysitter and daycare situation is a mess already. It's just, they're all getting shut down. How are these people supposed to, I'm serious. What happens here? We got a bunch of what's that called?
Latchkey
kids. Latchkey kids?
Latchkey, yeah.
That's not the move. I had a buddy in middle school. We're back to middle school again. Wrapped houses with this guy from time to time. His name was Rod. Also, don't name your kid Rod. He's going to be a dick for at least a little while.
Fucking Rod.
It's required. Rod was a dick for a little while. I'm sure he's not now, though. Rodney, good name. Don't want to hate on the guy. Loved him. Great kid. Yeah, but he was a latchkey kid, and his parents were divorced, and his mom was like a really badass DA in Houston or something. I think she kept me out of jail a couple of times, by the way. Shouts to his mom. I don't want to say her name. Anyway, we would fuck around and like, oh man, that's where I had my first champagne hangover, was at Rod's house. Because mom's wasn't home. And they were little bottles of champagne too. Like from a hotel mini bar. I had like 6 of them.
Wow.
My head hurt like hell for about 10 minutes the next morning, and I thought that was a hangover. About 15 years later, I'd find out they can last 3 days. 15 minutes was nothing. Also, you don't have to have champagne. Something called life will give you a hangover. You just wake the fuck up and feel terrible. It's awful.
Truth.
Depression. I am hungover every day of my goddamn life, and I haven't had a drink since October of 2017, 18? I don't know. 2 years. Math. Not my strong suit. What was this call about? None of you should be worried about toilet paper. Because we've been training for this by hoarding Chipotle napkins for years now. Toilet paper, not a problem. Water comes out of your sink. Is it that they think that the people who work in the water filtration plants are just they're gonna skip out, and then it's just gonna be sludge pouring through all the pipes?
People just don't trust the water.
Or anything.
They don't trust the government, nothing. But they do trust Dasani somehow.
Which at one point
Evian.
Was, one of those, I think it was Aquafina, was sued or fined.
Right.
Because they were literally pumping tap water into the bottles.
Right. It was like Houston tap water.
Yes. They got caught doing this.
Right.
It was a thing, allegedly.
But we trust them.
But no, we need to buy boxes and boxes of bottled water because that's what's going to save us. I drink my own urine because it's sterile, and I like the taste. Next call.
Hey, what's up, Ross? Connor calling from Wisconsin. Just got a trash or not trash for you. My school recently canceled for 3 weeks due to the coronavirus. Now, on one hand, we don't have school for 3 weeks. But on the other hand, we got to do online classes for 2 fucking weeks. Now, I'm personally a big fan of online classes because I don't have to be at fucking school and I can sit in Florida and be fucking high and drink a beer on the beach. But our grades are probably going to tank because the school's shit. So, trash or not trash,
because
Corona
the school's shit.
Making me skip school. Thanks. Gang, gang, gang. Peace.
Thanks for getting that in there. Look, I didn't learn anything in college, and we didn't have a worldwide health pandemic. Like, I was in class sometimes, and I still didn't learn anything. I have no clue what all these kids are going to do for weeks. Weeks without their classes. You have no choice but to allow a bunch of 18 to 23-year-olds, first of all, to trust them to not socialize is just
That's ridiculous.
It hasn't gone well so far.
Yeah.
Saturday night on Twitter was one of the worst nights on Twitter I've ever experienced. Because it was either people going out and being like, I don't give a fuck. If I'm going to die, I will not die sober, like the Wolf of Wall Street. Or people being like, how dare you? How dare you? How could you go to the bar or the restaurant?
Yeah.
How could you socialize? You look at this graph. Everybody sent that one article around with like the 17 graphs. Here's what it looks like if you go out every once in a while. Here's what it looks like if you stay home forever. Here's what it looks like if you go and you sneeze on your aunt. And it was like, all the fucking graphs are all over the place showing you just how many people could die based on our behavior or whatever. These kids don't give a fuck. You think you're telling 18-year-olds whose main concern in life is blacking out and getting pussy or dick that old people might die if they go out and they're going to stop going out? They don't give a fuck. They do not care. Arm the bars with hand sanitizer or shut them the fuck down. If you don't shut them all down, the drunks will fill them. That's how bars work.
Especially during really stressful times.
This is what you do.
Yeah.
You booze. Or in my case, smoke.
They're shutting them all down in New York City.
I saw that, yeah. It's only a matter of time before this is all shut down for a couple weeks, I think. But I really don't know what these college kids are supposed to do. And a lot of y'all have like graduation where it's online. Like you don't get to walk. You gave them $150,000 and now you don't even get to get that piece of paper on the stage. The one moment you paid for the fucking photo where you shake hands with a dean you've never even seen. I had no clue who that fucker was shaking my hand. No clue. Never seen him before in my life. Never seen him since. Man, that was expensive. Dad, I'm so sorry. It worked out though, didn't it? And Mom.
Here you are.
But college kids, y'all just listen. The last segment of the show today is gonna be just for you, for y'all in particular. It's for everybody, but it's y'all in particular because y'all are in a place right now where you're because of your age and your life situation, the phase of life you're in, and you don't have to be in college, just 18 to 25-ish, whatever. Most of y'all that listen to the show are in that age demographic. That's the largest age demo we have, and then we're all over the place from there. But y'all are in a spot where I think this is it's impacting a lot. It's just giving y'all even more anxiety, even more things to worry about, even more uncertainty regarding your futures. And I want to make sure that we curb some of that today, so we will. But listen, man, it's not. This isn't a trash or not trash scenario. It's just a worldwide, potentially millions of people costing pandemic. I don't think we can call it trash or not trash if they canceled your classes. It's not trash because they needed to do it to curb this shit. The trash part is that now we all have to figure out how to survive with nothing to fucking do and nowhere to go, which I don't know how that works. We're in like day 2. And we're already losing our shit. The hotline is just filled with y'all asking questions like this. Next call.
So, Ross, my name is Bridger. I'm from Yakima, Washington. I go to WSU, Washington State University, Pullman. And me and my friends are sitting at the bar here, and we're having a conversation.
God damn it.
About coconuts. And we were wondering, what the fuck is a coconut? Is it a nut, a fruit, or a vegetable? And we're having a heated discussion, so I'd like to hear your feedback. Gang, gang, gang. Thank you.
Y'all motherfuckers know, Google was invented so long ago, and yet you will call the hotline and ask me to come up with this shit. It was like 2 weeks ago. Have you been waiting for the answer this whole time? It's not 2 weeks ago. It was like yesterday. I didn't know the answer. Honestly, it's obviously a very silly phone call. But I didn't know the answer, so I wanted to share it. So thank you for asking, and you few idiots debating coconuts and their classification in a bar somewhere instead of social distancing. Respect.
Respect to you.
Also, shouts to healthline.com for the info here. Despite having the word nut in its name, a coconut is a fruit, not a nut. But it actually falls under a subcategory known as drupes, which are defined as fruits that have an inner flesh and seeds surrounded by a hard shell, including peaches, pears, walnuts, and almonds. I didn't know any of those things were fruits other than peaches and pears.
Almonds are fruits?
Coconuts? Is that right?
I thought almond was a
nut.
nut.
Yeah, dude. It says that it's a fruit. That it's a drupe.
So when Almond Joy says sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you feel like a fruit.
That should be what they say. That should be the jingle.
That is a catchphrase.
Sometimes you feel like a fruit.
Sometimes
you don't.
Sometimes you feel like a droop. Droop. Confusingly, certain types of drupes and nuts can be classified as tree nuts. Technically, a tree nut is any fruit or nut that grows from a tree. Therefore, a coconut is a type of tree nut that falls under the classification of a drupe.
So it's a fruit, drupe, tree nut.
Yeah, it sounds like nobody actually knows.
Nobody knows. Nobody wants to commit.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where the scientists, all the guys that wear these glasses that I'm wearing, they got together and they were like, it's a drupe, it's a tree nut, it's a fruit. And then by the end, they were like, let's just go get fucked up. We don't want to make this decision.
Let's go to the bar.
We'll just put all three on Wikipedia and let people figure it out for themselves.
We'll let Ross Bolen figure it out.
Yeah, there's this moron with a podcast. He smokes plenty of pot. He'll get it. He'll get to it at some point. They'll make a call. We got a couple more. Here's one. Oh, God, it's about green texting.
Hey, Ross. I got a question for you. So what if I'm a green bubbler? I know it's trash. I'm fucking Android, whatever. And I don't have a Mac. I can't rate and review on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, shit.
I don't have any Apple shit. What do I do? Fuck!
Wow. What a problem. We got a green texture here. We got a guy, he's an Android guy, one of these guys, a group text killing machine. But he can't complete his legal obligation because he doesn't have a Mac either. He doesn't have any Apple shit.
He can't. You can download iTunes, the iTunes desktop, on a Windows computer, search for the Ross Bolen Podcast, and leave a review that way.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. You don't even have to have a Mac. You don't even have to have an iPhone. And if you don't want to do that, here's another solution. Go to your local Apple store, subscribe every single goddamn device they have to the Ross Bolen Podcast, and rate and review on just one of them.
Perfect.
Problem solved. Or you could just download the,
It's
the
probably
app.
easier just to go to the Apple store than to download fucking iTunes on your Windows desktop and figure that shit out.
I like fucking around at the Apple store.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
fun.
wait a couple weeks. This probably isn't the time you want to be going in there like touching every single screen in the Apple store.
Don't go today, yeah.
Yeah, give it a month. Download the thing. Do what Mike said.
Yeah, it's safer.
Yeah. All right, we got one more call. Here it is. Bingo was his name-o.
What up, Ross? Just want to say that phone tag is fucking bullshit and trash. I'm really, really sick of it. I hate the dial tone. Hate missing calls. Hate calling them back and then they're not available. Whole thing's horrible. It's a problem that we should be well past in 2020. All right, peace.
Okay, we've got a caller here who's engaged in a very infuriating round of phone tag. You've been in one of these situations, right, where you're calling, you and a boy are trying to get a hold of each other, you're calling each other over and over, you can never get each other at the right time.
Well, that's why I text.
And here's the thing. Phone call people in 2020, y'all have got to chill. At least back it up a bit. I feel it. I get it, all right? Some of y'all are just, you want to hear the voice. You want to talk on the phone. The rest of us figured out long ago that talking on the phone sucks ass. And that text messaging, you get everything accomplished without any of the trash. First of all, you're not allowed to talk on the phone in the car anymore. Speaker sucks. All the speakers. The iPhone, the Android, the one in your Lexus, the one in your Mercedes, your BMW, the one in your fucking Kia. They all suck. Nobody can hear you. You're just jabbering to yourself. Stop calling each other. Just stop. We don't need to hear each other's voices. I don't need your voicemail. What are you doing? I don't even want to have a voicemail anymore. The only voicemail that should exist is 888-WR-BOLEN. If you leave me a voicemail, you better be a fucking cop or a doctor telling me I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Those are the only two reasons.
That's it.
You're under arrest, or you have a warrant, or you literally need to come in because we tested your blood or your poo or whatever and you're going to die.
Or Grandma Bolen calls. That's
Or my
it.
grandma.
Yeah.
If my grandma wants to talk, that's fine. Especially now, because she's not allowed to leave her fucking apartment. If you go anywhere near my grandma, I will cut off your goddamn head. Stay away from my grandma, man. Y'all are sick. I need at least another decade of this woman. This shit cannot take out all our grandparents. Call your grandparents.
Yeah.
Because they are bored out of their minds. If you think you're bored, they've been here for like 80 years. You think this is exciting to them?
They've seen all the Law and Orders.
They don't give a shit. They've got nothing else to watch on TV.
They've seen all the Law and Orders. They've seen all the criminal intent, everything.
Every Dateline episode, it's over for them. They don't care about binging on Netflix.
No.
You see, these people were just trying to eke out the last few years of their lives, watching the rest of us shit the bed, and now they can't even do that. It's a shame. Stay away from the old people. Leave them be. Don't touch them. Don't even look at them. Just call them on the phone. But anybody else, text them. Text. Missed calls give me anxiety. The fucking red text, the bubble, the fucking notey, everything about it. Then if there's a voicemail, that's 20 minutes of my life that I now spend anxious because you had to call me instead of text me. Then, most of y'all, if you call and we miss it, you text. Just text, don't call. Skip the first step. You're killing me. Unless you're my grandma or we're having sex. That's it. There's two reasons we can talk on the phone. We are blood related and you are much older than me, or we are having sex. If you call me and there's not one of those two things going down, you fucked up. Please resort back to the text message as I said. I appreciate you. 888-WR-BOLEN is our hotline number. As I said, you can call it any time, any day. A lot of y'all right now, you're just bored. You got nothing going. You're stuck indoors. You know, there's only so much porn and World of Warcraft you can do. 888-WR-BOLEN. Give us a hypothetical, a trash or not trash. Ask a question, sing a song, 2 minutes, 120 seconds. Be succinct, be clear. We want to be sure we can hear you. All that good stuff. Thank you to everybody who's been blowing up the hotline. Y'all are hilarious. Lots of good questions. Lots of good stuff in there. Lots of people talking stuff out with themselves, too, which I found to be very interesting. It's like, because I've said that many times, maybe you just need a place to talk. Like, talk some shit out. People literally use it for that, which is not something I anticipated. But every once in a while, I'll get like 30 seconds into one, and I'm like, this isn't for me, is it? This isn't even for the show. This is literally just somebody using the hotline as like a therapy session. It's fucking tight, but it's also weird. 888-WR-BOLEN. Do your thing. Literally, I do not care. Use it for whatever purpose you wish. New sponsor alert. Do not tune your televisions. We have a new sponsor, Ollie. RBP 275 is also brought to you by Ollie. You and your dogs need to listen. You're going to be so stoked. Your dog's health is as important as every other member of your family, and it starts with what you feed them. But do you even know what's in your dog's food? I bet most of you don't. Ollie puts dogs first with vet-formulated recipes and fully transparent ingredients to give your dog the healthiest food possible. They make fresh meals for dogs with real ingredients that people can eat. You could eat your dog's food. They also deliver it to you on a regular schedule. They beat out store-bought dog food at a 10-to-1 on the palatability scale. That's a scale of how good it tastes to your dog. That means it's beating store-bought dog food's ass. 10-to-1. Because they create customized vet-formulated recipes made with all natural ingredients, no preservatives, and sourced from U.S. family farms. Go to myollie.com. You just answer a few questions about your dog or dogs, and they'll customize recipes for them and ship pre-portioned meals so your pup gets the perfect portion every time. I've got Bruce and Bella fully stocked up on Ollie. We got at least a month of dog food. Guess where? You don't need to go to the fucking store or interact with any human beings to get your Ollie, folks. And Ollie is offering our listeners 60% off your first box plus a free bag of treats at myollie.com/try/RBP. That's myollie.com/try, TRY/RBP for 60% off plus a free bag of treats. myollie.com/try/RBP. They've delivered 5 million meals and counting. Shipping is free. If your dog doesn't like the meals, they have a money-back guarantee. There's nothing else I can say. Next segment. How to maintain sanity during social distancing. So as we all know, we've been asked or told, I'm not really sure. There's the CDC, there's Trump, there's state government stuff. Mike mentioned like in New York, they've already shut down the bars and restaurants. That seems to be spreading. Seems pretty obvious that by the end of the week, that'll likely be every major city in the U.S.'s stance. We're supposed to be practicing what's called social distancing, which means you stay the fuck home. Most people aren't doing that yet. Some have started. Talked about the battle that ensued on Saturday night when half of you realized that the other half didn't give a fuck. I just liked watching it. I don't even know where I was. I guess I was in the not giving a fuck half because I went to a crawfish boil on Saturday. I kept waiting for it to get canceled. I'm glad it didn't. I hadn't had crawfish in forever, but I will say this. I shit my brains out yesterday. I told you I was burning through toilet paper.
Yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, I was sitting there like each square, looking at each square like it was so valuable, like Elaine and Seinfeld.
Can you spare a square?
I can't spare a square. But the shit is weird. It's put a lot of stress and anxiety and mental strain on people. And people are worried about their jobs, their families, their friends, the entire society we've built over the past 1,000 years. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to handle this, all right? Because there's some things I've noticed over the course of this past week or so that I think are pretty simple fixes and ways that we can make sure we don't lose our goddamn minds during this, however long this lasts. Maybe it's a couple weeks, fingers crossed, knock on wood. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's 4. Whatever it is, at least some of us will survive. I plan on being one of them, and I want to come out with my head screwed on straight. So I've come up with some shit that'll help. First of all, if there was ever a time to purify your social media experience, this is it. Too many of us are on Twitter all day. Now, like I'll give you my dad. This dude can't get off Twitter. He's sending me an update to some other horrific version of this shit every 20 minutes. We had to tell him yesterday, Dad, you got to check in. Like, this isn't how this used to work, right? All of us used to get our news once a day. You went to work, you got home, you watched the evening news, or you didn't. And that was it. Paper in the morning, news there too. But you didn't stay plugged in all day. You couldn't watch the death count rise by the second. You couldn't keep up with the horrific ways this is unfolding in all the other countries. You couldn't. That wasn't a thing. You didn't fill your brain up, your mind, with all these stressors that we now have access to. If you want to, you can literally keep yourself in like fight or flight mode all goddamn day just by reading the news. We do a segment called Insane Headlines of the Day, Mike. We haven't done it today, obviously. We're not going to, because they're all insane.
They're all insane.
There are no normal headlines anymore. So there's no fun in that. I don't know where to pull from. I'm going through like, well, what do we change this to? Normal headline of the day? I'm going to find wholesome, regular-ass news stories that we would have heard back in like the 90s?
Oh.
That might be the move.
Cat has birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or fireman saves owl from tree.
Yeah.
Owls wouldn't need saving from trees.
You got to get those owls out of those trees,
We've
man.
got to get these fucking owls freed from these trees.
They're just all stuck there.
So, here's what you do. You purify your social media experience. You know all those people you followed, you don't really know why you follow them. Same reason that this happens to us in our friend groups, in our circles, our social circles as well. You don't know what, there's this like shitty dude named, Jack, who you've been hanging out with for like 15 years. This guy sucks. Every time you hang out with him, he makes your life hell. You don't know why you're friends with him. You don't know what he's doing there. Get rid of Jack. What the fuck is Jack's problem? Jack needs to go. There are way too many of us got like 18 Jacks on our Twitter feed or on our Instagram or whatever. And there's been no better time. If somebody is like a trigger to you, or it's if you're following 426 news outlets, you don't need all of them. Pick 2 or 3 with some different angles, preferably. So you're not just getting one voice. You don't want to be in an echo chamber. But also, you don't want to just be inundated with nonstop disaster updates. It's very important that you don't just sit in this, because it's not healthy. And it will drive you literally insane. Your blood pressure is going to spike. Your anxiety is going to rise. You may wait. Like, don't do this to yourself. All of us are doing it right now. I mean, me too. No hashtag. We're all doing it, and it's a problem. So, I mean, like, oh, Ross, you're talking about it. Aren't you just No, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to solve some of this. I'm trying to, like, not only give myself advice to get through this, but y'all as well. Because as a mental health dude, I know how taxing this shit can be. I have been more anxious the last few days than usual. Just from the general aura of the fucking world around me. Weirdly enough, on Thursday night, when my dumbass was going to sleep, shouldn't say that, when my really smart, perfect, beautiful self was going to sleep, it's called self-love and positivity.
Word.
I was going to take my allergy medication, as I always do, and when I take it out, I always take out my SSRI, my antidepressant, which I take every morning because I have panic attacks and panic disorder and depression. And when I did that, I was real sleepy and not thinking, and it's been a crazy-ass couple weeks or years, and I slipped up and I took my SSRI about 8 hours early. Well, what that does is give you something called serotonin poisoning or serotonin sickness. There's a bunch of different ways you can define it. It's exactly what it sounds like. Your brain has too much serotonin, and it can't handle that. It's not good, and you feel like shit. So I'm like just now feeling back to normal today.
Can last a while.
That's
happened to me. That happened to me one time years ago. It sucked.
It was similar to like when I was weaning off Prozac. For those of you who have listened forever, like you're aware that I really struggled there, and it was similar to that feeling, where your brain's just you can just tell you're not right, and everything is like you just feel strange. You don't feel yourself, and you're much more anxious, and like the fight or flight mode inside you is much more triggerable, if that's even a word. It's just a rough thing. So I kind of got to experience over the weekend what I think a lot of you were experiencing. This was for a different reason, but that level of anxiety and that feeling of discomfort and unease that so many of you are wrestling with as a result of all this madness, there are ways to treat that and handle it. You got to do what I just did. Find ways to be more kind to yourself during this period of social distancing. Unfollow accounts that are triggering you, making you anxious, depressed, making you think about negative shit or stuff that you don't want. And maybe even go a step further. Try to find yourself some more positive accounts that are bringing something positive to your day. Little messages, cheesy bullshit that you maybe wouldn't have ever considered like even close to following back in the day. Bring some of them shits in. They do some good. I'm serious. I have a handful of them I follow. They be some cheesy ass stolen quote, improperly attributed to Marilyn Monroe or something, but it'll make me feel better.
Yeah, I have a bunch of not a bunch, but a few Instagram accounts of animals that I follow that really help me.
Huge.
Yeah.
Get yourself some tools to help yourself because this is going to be rough. It's not going to get easier, tomorrow. This is going to be a little while. So unfollow people that need to be unfollowed. Add yourself in some positivity. Purify your social media experience. Get rid of the toxicity. Get rid of the negatives. Here's another piece of advice. We said it earlier, but call your grandparents. Not only are these people bored out of their minds and stuck in their homes eating oatmeal and watching God knows what terrible television.
Dun dun. Law and Order.
I love that noise. But as I argue every year, what is it, August is Call Your Grandparents Month, or is it October? I can never remember. We'll figure it out when we get there. We have a whole month dedicated to calling your grandparents here on RBP, and there's a reason for that. It's because they're wise and experienced and old. Many of them are currently at risk, which is a fucking bummer. Not trying to lose this wealth of knowledge. Old people are the fucking best. The ones that lived proper anyway. My grandma being one of them. Call your grandparents. Call your grandparents. Check in with them. See how they're doing. Give them 10, 20, 30 minutes, even an hour on the phone if they want it. Talk to these people. If they didn't do what they did, you wouldn't even be here. And now they're stuck in their apartments or their retirement communities or wherever, just trying to see how much licorice they can fit down their gullet in a 24-hour span. Call your grandparents.
Werther's Originals, probably. Maybe
They're
not,
good people.
Maybe not licorice.
Yeah. I'm thinking licorice because of Curb. Curb Your Enthusiasm last night. Larry David keeps going to the Lexus dealership and stealing licorice.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Not yet.
That's why it's in my head.
Yeah,
I'm not a licorice guy, so it's Larry David's fault. Here's the thing that I'm going to start doing during this social distancing period. I have been waiting a very long time for an opportunity to force myself back into reading for leisure. And I got a handful of new books, and I'm doing it. And here's the problem for me. With me, I read a lot on Twitter. I read a lot on Instagram. I read columns and articles and all these internet shits, right? But, man, that's not really the same as, holding a book, making your brain quiet down, and getting in that zone where it's just you and your imagination and the story. That's a great way to take your mind off of, books have been used for this purpose always, right? Take your mind off of the things in reality. Escape for a little. Also, makes you smarter. Helps your vocabulary a ton. We're not going to be speaking to each other much in person. Stay sharp. Stay frosty out there. Read a fucking book. Help yourself to a fucking science book because you're sounding like a goddamn... I can't say that last word.
Can you...
It's from South Park, though. It's the R word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask what you're reading?
Right now?
Yeah.
Well, none of the books I'm reading are positive.
They don't have to be positive.
About murder.
Those are fun. People like murder
In
books.
Cold Blood is the one I started, okay?
Dude, that is one of my favorite books of all time. I love that book.
The movie Capote is one of my favorites.
Love it.
I loved Philip Seymour Hoffman's performance as Capote, as Truman Capote, and he's such a fascinating character. But I've never read the book, so I'm finally reading it.
The book is great. I mean, the first few chapters when they describe the murder is really hard to get through, but the investigation is amazing.
Yes, so that's
so
the part.
Good.
I'm getting through
It is one of my favorite works of journalism. It's all fact.
Yeah, that's the cool part about it, right? This
nonfiction.
He literally went and spent time with this dude and interviewed him and got all this. It's just an incredible story. So that's one of the ones I'm reading. I've got a little stack, though. Probably take me, 2 weeks to get through that one. Read a book. Keep your mind sharp. What does Tyrion say? A mind needs books like a sword needs a whetstone.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you did a Game of Thrones podcast. Here's another piece of advice. Too much porn is probably not a good idea. For once, I will stand with AJ.
I was going to say, a little AJ shout out here.
I wish he was here.
Yo, bro, no porn.
But he did. Now it feels like he is. AJ has been taking an adamant anti-porn stance for months on the show now. No idea why. Very confusing stuff.
What's his podcast? Hands Free?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at this time, I thought it important to point out, so many of you will be tempted to drink and smoke weed and watch pornography or shitty cartoons all day, let your minds rot and your dicks and vaginas fall off. That's not the move. Stay safe. Stay sharp. Read the book. Call your grandparents. It's not the move. You could get a couple of days in. Maybe 2 days dedicated to just the total shittiness of drinking weed and pornography. But after 2 days, you got to chill. Your mind will turn to moosh. Mushu. Mushu the dragon in Mulan?
I don't know. I know there's Mushu pork.
I believe it is the dragon in Mulan. I'm going to go ahead and I'm gonna credit myself with a win here, even though I may be wrong. I'm 99% sure.
Mulan is the one I've never seen, actually.
Bro, you've never seen Mulan?
Nah.
How is that possible?
I don't know. With the animated stuff, it takes me a while to actually want to watch it. So.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Well, they have the live-action Mulan coming out.
Yeah.
Look, it came out in '98, Mike. It's time. Eddie Murphy is Mushu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not It's a good movie, though.
Yeah.
Look, the music is good.
I like the story. It's a good story. I know the story.
What's your favorite animated movie?
Favorite animated movie of all time?
Or just a couple of them.
The original Aladdin. I do like that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
huge Aladdin guy.
I like the funny ones, like Hercules.
Oh, big Hercules guy.
Those are probably my two favorite old schools.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
Man, I probably watched Hercules 20 times.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And it always upset me, his calves. He's got those incredible superhero calves.
True.
And I was always just like, son of a bitch.
I want those calves.
It's never going to be me. I'll never be Herc.
I mean, you can get the implants that we've been talking about.
I know. People always bring up the implants to me. I'm like, listen, here's the thing. It's not like a girl getting fake boobs, a guy getting fake calves. And by that, I mean it's the exact same. I have no clue what I would do with this new body, though. Like,
just wear more shorts.
I'm already exuding a level of sexuality that most people can't handle. If I've got shorts on and nice calves, it's over. It's over for me. I can't do that.
Just can't leave your house anymore.
Well, we're not allowed anyway, so.
Yeah, so it works out.
This is the time to get calf implants if you've been thinking about it as well. That was the last point I wanted to make on how to maintain sanity during social distancing.
Perfect.
Go to your local
plastic surgeon,
black market underground calf implant doctor, because you don't want to go straight. You don't want to go to the derm or the actual one. There's too many people there. You go to the black market underground calf implant doctor. You get yourself some Johnny Dramas, some Hercs, and you're all good. That will do it for today's show. But before you head out to take on the world, it's time for some very important announcements. First and foremost, Freeze All Motor Functions is your Westworld podcast for Season 3, okay? Westworld is back. We got Aaron Paul in the mix. We got sexy, futuristic motorcycles. We have exited the parks. We are in the fucking world.
It was so good, that premiere. I really enjoyed it.
It sucked me right in. They somehow managed to, depart from the constrictions of the first 2 seasons while also kind of staying true to them.
Yeah.
And very much looking forward to discussing all season long on Freeze All Motor Functions with Jared Borslow. As you know, we also have Bolen Media's television and film podcast, Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, formerly the #1 Game of Thrones podcast in the world, where we discuss all manner of television and film and movies and Right now we're doing Curb Your Enthusiasm. We just finished The Outsider. We will be discussing Westworld in very brief generalities. For the full-blown coverage and the specifics and the breakdown, you'll need Freeze All Motor Functions. Barrett, Dudley, and I on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles will be covering all kinds of other stuff as well. Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, Freeze All Motor Functions. Check them both out, available wherever the Ross Bolen Podcast is available. You've been saddled with 3 legal obligations. Having listened to this entire podcast, first and foremost, you must rate and review on Apple Podcasts, as we talked about earlier in the show. You don't even have to have Apple. You don't even have to have an iPhone. You could have a fucking, I don't know, Mitsubishi laptop. Is that a thing? Nope.
That's a car.
That's a car company.
Yeah. HP.
Maybe
HP,
they made it.
Windows
HP, there we
laptop,
go.
Yeah.
It could be an HP. Download the stupid iTunes app. You're going to be fine.
An HP.
Desktop. I'll figure it out. I've got a PC at home. I'll go do it myself. Tell y'all exactly how it works. No, you can figure it out. Rate and review, please. 5 stars, 2 or 3 sentences about why you love the show. Do it on Apple Podcasts. That's where it counts the most for us. Gets us moving up the charts and such. Gets us some exposure. Take care of that. Check the box and move on to number 2, which is to tell one person, a friend, a family member, a coworker, a neighbor, any one individual that you think, you know what? I bet Rosalinda would like the Ross Bolen Podcast. Mm-hmm. Then you tell your friend Rosalinda about the show, and then she gets to enjoy it. Maybe she's flipping the fuck out about how to maintain sanity during social distancing. Tell her we just did a segment on that, and it saved your life.
And
your whole life.
And that's why you have those beautiful calf implants. Because we told you to do that.
Exactly. One friend, family member, coworker, neighbor, one individual. This week, one person this week, one person next week, one person every week until the week you die. Hopefully not of COVID-19. Your final and third legal obligation is that you must use our sponsor codes. Support the people who are supporting us and making this podcast possible. FelixGrayGlasses.com/RBP. The clear Faradays on my face, if you're watching on YouTube.com/Bolen Media, have become my favorite spectacles I have ever fucking owned. But I also got an incredible new pair of the Nash from Felix Gray and the tortoiseshell finish or whatever. I put those on my Instagram story as well. They're also dope. But I'm addicted to these clear ones right now, man. I can't let them go. And then also Ollie. Felix Gray and Ollie. Go to myollie.com/try/RBP. Get your dog the best of the best. And then get your eyes the best of the best. Your eyes and your dog. Use both those codes today to improve both. Eyes, dog, or dogs. Don't just get it for one dog. If you have 2 dogs, they'll both need it, see? The other one will become incredibly jealous that he has shit food while the other one's eating Ollie. Don't let that happen. Don't be a bad dog owner. Let me shame you into using these codes. Follow us on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. We're also on Facebook if you're the middle-aged aunt of one of our listeners. You can follow me, Ross Bolen, on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at WRBolen, at WRBOLEN. Mr. Mike Moody, where can we follow you on social medias and also hear more of your lovely voice?
You can find me on Twitter at Mike Moody, on Instagram at Mike Moody ATX. Follow me on Instagram. I don't have that many Instagram followers, and I tweet a lot from the studio, so behind the scenes on different shows, you can check it out. At Mike Moody ATX on Instagram.
Fucking A. And that will do it for RBP 274, recorded and produced by Mike Moody and Grant Davis at Permanent Record Studios in Austin, Texas. Y'all stay safe out there. Do whatever the stuff you're supposed to do is. All right? Just stay safe. Wash your fucking hands. Stay the fuck away from my grandma. Okay? We'll be back soon enough with episode 276, RBP 276 coming soon. You are not alone. Podman gets paid. Respect Mr. Park. Strength and honor. Gang, gang, gang. Peace be with you and also with you.
Peace be with you and also with you. Go low, baby.